Hey, Coach Wheeler here, and this morning I wanted to bring you a video on relationships, and this one is about having arguments and how it's important, not all the time. I mean, if you're arguing every 5 minutes, then you have to really ask yourselves, are you right for each other? But there's a big thing to take note about when you argue, and it's very important, I believe, in relationships, because there's 3 or 4 things you can get from arguing. One is, I saw a thing the other day saying a relationship with no arguments is a relationship with a lot of secrets. You don't need secrets. So when you have an argument, a lot of things come out in the wash. So there are a couple of things that you can think about straight away. And when those things come out in the wash, there's 2 things that happens. The first is you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. All right, I didn't know that about you. Because you find out something about your partner and you think, okay, that's good. And you can either go with that or go against that. Simple. But it can help you because it can make you stronger, because you think, okay, I didn't know that about you. Now I know that, I can either do more or do less of whatever that thing is that annoyed them. And second of all, they might learn something about you. So one of your frustrations, one of the things that winds you up or ticks, flicks your switches, gets you going. So when they do something, you think, now they know about it and it can help them. And they can do more or do less of that thing that annoyed you. So there are another couple of points that really help on both scales, positive and negative. There's also one more that people maybe haven't thought about, and that's how far your partner will go before they break. Now, obviously, we don't want to crush each other and destroy each other and have a destructive relationship. That doesn't help anyone. But what it does do is, if you know that your partner's under pressure in an argument and you're arguing, and they're really standing strong on what they believe, they really stand firm, even though you might not agree with them, you'll have some sort of admiration for them. You think, wow, that's really important to them. I like that they really stand by what they believe. And that gives you more of a foundation of respect, where you think, wow, I don't agree with what they're saying, but I can see the value in that argument, and they believe it so passionately. It's almost like, wow, I have to give them respect. And you also know that when they're in a tough situation and you're not around, they will stand firm, because they're going to argue to the death, Whereas if they're quite easily led, pushed over, that doesn't mean to say that should be the reason for you not being with them. But you might think, oh God, they didn't really stick up for themselves that much. Are they going to stick up for me? If you're a person of principle, as I am, I will argue to the death my point, probably sometimes to the negative, and I need to rein that in, calm myself down. But it means I'm proud of what I stick by what I believe. My principles and my morals are important to me. And if I don't stick by them for myself, I feel I let myself down. So it's almost like I have to do that for my own values and my own human needs. And if I don't, I feel a bit that I'm not the truest version of myself. But that also reciprocates when you look at your partner. If you see that in them and they don't necessarily do that, you'll think, so arguing can be a good thing. Like I said, you don't want to be doing too much of it, but don't shy away from it. And also there is one more thing to think about in arguments as well, is that when you do argue, you can kiss and make up, and that's where you have a bit of fun. So, it's worth realising that arguments aren't always bad. There can be good things to come out of them, and it's the same as my good and bad video. Sometimes even in a bad moment, you might find out some good things that can help your relationship grow. And this is the important thing to understand, is that when you have that argument, even though you might discover some dark things or some horrible things, or they might say something horrible, you think, oh, okay, that's what you think, is it? Right, good. And then you can build on that. You can grow on that. You can learn from that. And you can become stronger. And couples that argue, I think, have a longer, greater relationships. Not if you're arguing every 5 minutes. Don't get this misunderstood, that I'm saying, oh yeah, argue every 5 minutes and you'll have a beautiful relationship. Obviously not. But like I say, couples with no arguments, they either don't care, there's no passion, or there could be a ton of secrets and they don't want stuff to come out. So take that in mind. Anyway, I hope that helps. Look for more tips and advice from Coach Wheeler. Like, subscribe, tell all your friends, tell strangers, tell the neighbours, tell people you walk past in the street about Coach Wheeler, and let's go out there and make the world a better place, yeah? Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you beautiful people on the other side. Peace.